Okay guys, in this video we're going to learn how to take a applique that we create in the program and send the outline of the shape to a cutting machine like a Cameo cutter. So the first thing we have to do is make an applique, and I'm going to do that by using one of the custom shapes that's built into the program. And the custom shapes are in this merge designs. Kind of looks like a gear, the icon for it. Click on that. And then I'm going to pick one of these shapes. So let's see, we'll go to shapes 2. Oh, what do I feel like doing? We'll do this like little wolf lobo guy here. So we'll bring this in, and so I want to make it a little bit bigger than this too. Let's see, we'll go ahead and increase the size here. That'll do. I've got the 4x4 hoop selected. So let's say we want it to fit in the 4x4 hoop. So we'll make it about this big. And then we're going to use the applique icon here. Just left click on that. Now, after I click on this, I can go and choose the settings for how I want my applique border stitch to be. This doesn't have any bearing at all on the cut file, but you want to get your design set before you go and start sewing it out, of course. So we're going to go over to the border. If we want it to be an E-stitch, we can leave it there. I'll set it to a satin stitch. And if you want to preview what this is going to look like in the different colors combinations of the satin stitch and the fabric that you're going to use. If we go to the color tab in our properties menu here, click on color, the applique position color, if we set this color, that's going to be the color of the fabric preview. So if we click on here and say we want to make him I don't know, like this olive drab kind of color, hit OK. Then if we set in our applique tab that we have the fabric preview turned on, we'll turn that on, then it previews that color for me here. Alright, so we'll go back to color. I guess I should have done that first, huh? And we'll change this color here is going to be the color of the satin stitch. So I can go and change this to another color, whatever color I want it to be, and I'll be able to preview exactly what my design is going to look like. So once we're satisfied that it looks the way that we want it to, we want to take our design and export the cut line so that we can cut it in our Cameo cutter. The way you do that is you're going to go back to your color page here, and you're going to click on the first color, left click on the first color, all right, and then there's a tab that says Applique. So we left click on that tab, and what we want to do here is under cutting, this is the part that we're going to worry about for this. We're not going to worry about all this other stuff for now. So for cutting, we want to set first an inflate, and what the inflate does is it makes it just a little bit bigger than the actual line. That way we can be sure that our stitches are going to overlap it. So I like to set my inflate to about 1 millimeter is good. All right, so we set it to 1 millimeter. If you find that the edges of your fabric's poking out because your satin stitch isn't wide enough to cover that, then you can set that to a little bit lower. But you really don't want to go below about 0.5. Otherwise, your fabric's going to tend to be a little bit too small. All right, so when you have that, you're going to hit save, and you just want to name it something. I'm going to name this Lobo. And you want to make sure that you save it. If you have a Cameo cutter, you want to save it as a .studio file. If you have a different cutter, you want to save it as an SVG file. Okay, if you've got some cutter that uses these other files, then use that. But all the ones I've ever seen either use SVG or .studio. So we save it as .studio. We hit save. All right, and then you can just hit OK, and we'd of course want to save the design too, of course, which I have a separate video on how to do that. But basically, we hit File, Save as Stitch End Working, and we call it Lobo. Hit Save. Okay, so we've got our PES file, we've got our working file saved, and we've got our outline file saved. So I can take this, copy it onto a flash drive, ready to sew it out on the machine, and then I'm going to open my Studio, my Silhouette Studio program with my cutter, and then I can open up that cut file and cut it out. So I'd go open up my Studio, I'd go to File and Open, and the one thing that you have to do is this version, the current version of Studio, works with Studio V3 files, which Creator doesn't save. It saves version 2. So you actually have to, in this menu, change what you're looking for from Studio V3 to Studio V2, and that's where you'll see. So here's that logo that I created, and now it sees it. And you got to make sure that it's looking in the folder where you saved it to. Also, that's important. So we click on the one that we want, we hit OK, and there is my outline. It's been inflated. It's ready to cut. So I can take this, send it to my cutter, cut out my applique, and then we're ready to go. Okay. Yeah, that's how you would create an applique to send to the Cameo cutter. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.